Ready to learn about one of the major medieval African empires? Many people know about the Mali Empire and its famous ruler Mansa Musa, but did you know there was a major empire that came before it? Medieval African history tends to get ignored in favor of medieval European history. However, there is so much rich history to uncover, especially in the region of West Africa. The Ghana Empire is considered one of the greatest empires in African history. There was an abundance of gold in the region, and the Ghana Empire was a powerful trading partner. Advancements were made in administration, allowing it to become a dominant power in the region. History comes alive in this audiobook. Here are just a few of the things you will learn about in this audiobook. How the Ghana Empire rose to power in the first place. What people groups called the Ghana Empire home. The influence of Islam on the empire. Why trade was such a major factor in the empire's control of the region. How the Almoravids impacted the Ghana Empire. The decline and eventual downfall of this mighty power. And so much more. Here's an excerpt from the audiobook. There has been a lack of interest in the history of West Africa due to a combination of factors. A primary reason is the lack of education and awareness about the region, which is often overshadowed by other histories such as those of Europe and Asia. In addition, limited access to resources or information can make it difficult to learn about this region's rich history. All this caused a gap in public awareness about the area. This is especially concerning because West Africa played a major role in world politics and culture for centuries. One example that stands out is the Ghana Empire. Chapter 1. The Start of a State. Climate determines the landscape. Whether a territory is fertile and abundant or barren and dry is decided by how often the sun shines and when the rain falls. The present condition of the Sahel is barren and desolate, a desert that is growing larger every day. This was not the case in the 6th century CE, when climate conditions were dramatically different. Archaeological and paleo-environmental studies suggest that this region was climatically stable. The Sahara Desert was to the north, but savannas and forests were in the south. There was a mixture of shrublands, grasslands, and sparse woodlands. The inhabitants relied on predictable weather patterns, and economies grew according to the seasons. The climate's stability permitted permanent settlements to develop and thrive. The roots of the Ghana Empire were buried deep in the culture and customs of a distinct ethnic group in West Africa called the Soninke people. We should know more about them because their values are reflected in history. They originated in northeastern Mali and western Niger and have lived in the area for more than 2,000 years, making them one of the oldest ethnic groups in West Africa. Griots are traditional storytellers of the Soninke, and they claim the tribe's founder was a man named Igo Kase Dinka. The legends say Dinka arrived in West Africa and dominated the original settlers, the Cairo. Dinka's men were known to be excellent horseback riders and well armed. The stories further tell how Dinka had to negotiate with a 7-headed snake to establish his kingdom, the Kingdom of the Ouagadougou. The Soninke have a rich cultural heritage reflected in their music, art, and dance. Their strong oral tradition passed down through generations provides some of the information we have about the Ghana Empire. The Soninke were not nomadic tribesmen and created an agricultural system that permitted them to grow crops such as cotton, sorghum, and millet. They established permanent settlements and a system of trade and commerce that allowed them to exchange goods with other ethnicities in the region successfully. This background in business would prove very important to the empire that was gradually created. The family unit is important to the Soninke, and extended families live together in compounds. Social and economic status determine whether polygamy or monogamy is practiced. The Soninke have a system of age grades. These are groups of people who were born during a specific time and progress through the stages of life together.